Hey, what's going on? It's Pastor Fury here, and we're going to be watching the first and the second episode of The Bad Batch coming up next. Okay, so you hopefully have already seen all the Clone Wars content you need to. You either watched all the episodes or you watched my last video that walks you through a bit of the storyline that you need. There's some that I missed, I know, but make sure you check that out if you didn't already. And now we're gonna watch first and second episode. Let's do it. So I had to interrupt here because at this point, you should be watching my reaction and review for episode 1 and 2. But you know what? It completely jacked up in the editing room and I can't release it. So we're going to jump right to my review interview with my buddy Guardian. I hope you enjoy that and we'll see what we're going to do next week. I have no idea. There's some crazy stuff going on in the interwebs. Well, enjoy this anyway. Hey buddy, welcome to the channel. How's it going, man?
Good, thank you very much.
Good. So everybody, I want to introduce you to my new friend Guardian. He is a guy that I don't know. We've probably been messaging and commenting back and forth for maybe about a month now. But we met on, is it Omegle? Is that how you pronounce that?
Yeah, it's depends on whatever. Same thing.
Yeah, so we met there in one of the Star Wars, chat rooms or whatever you call that, and it was like, yeah, we just kind of were digging it. Like a lot of the people that I was connecting with there were like weird, or it just was not like, oh, skip.
Yeah.
But we connected and we chatted probably for about a good half hour, I want to say.
I'd say about 45 minutes or so.
Maybe that long? Yeah, it was good. Yeah. And so we've been connected ever since. So why don't you maybe tell the folks a little bit about yourself?
Well, I'm Guardian, and ever since I was young, I've been watching a lot of Star Wars content. My father introduced it to me when I was about 4 years old, and ever since I've been growing up, it's always been like a continuous thing in my life. Like some things have changed, and it's always been there, and it's got a special place in my heart.
That is awesome. Yeah, Star Wars, it's one of those things where you can almost even trace certain life events back to like, oh yeah, that was when Return of the Jedi. Yeah. Or I guess not for you. It wouldn't be when Return of the Jedi came out, but like maybe when you watched it or when maybe a newer one came out for you. Yeah. Because you're on the younger side. You're not. Yeah. You're not old man like I am.
I wouldn't say old.
Yeah, well, thank you. See, I appreciate that. I like you already, Guardian. Well, cool. Well, let's talk about Clone Wars. Tell me about when you first were experiencing Clone Wars, or wait a minute. So actually, now that I think about it, so it's been out for a while now. Did you start it when it first came out?
Yeah, well, I think it came out in 2006, 2007. And I started off with the movie because that's how it first came out. And then every Saturday, I would turn on the TV and watch Clone Wars, and it would have been here and there, and none of the episodes would have matched up. But a few years ago, I started rewatching Clone Wars again because I was really interested in it. I went from chronological order, and it really hooked me back in again into like because I had a little dip in my interest in Star Wars, and it really hooked me in, and it's been like that ever since.
Nice. So for me, and I shared this earlier, that it was like, so I wasn't a Clone Wars guy. I was like, and the animated Star Wars world was just like, I don't know. I'm a live action guy, But when I was watching Solo, and I saw the scene with Darth Maul, and I was like, wait, what? What are you talking about? And I remember the moment because I was at the movie theaters with my buddy Eric. Actually, Eric and I do a podcast together. You might like it. It's called Good Dad, Bad Dad Podcast. And part of it, we talk about our love of Marvel and Star Wars and all that stuff. So, but he was there with me, and he looked at me when I was like all shocked. And he's like, wait, you didn't know? And I was like, No, what do you mean? Because he had been watching the Clone Wars, and he's got a couple young kids. They'd been watching it together, and he's like, "Bro, you got to watch the Clone Wars." I was like, "Oh my gosh!" So that brought me to then my experience of like binging my way through the Clone Wars, which is the motivation behind. Oh, I guess I didn't say that today in this episode. It was my motivation in the last episode of like, here's the must-watch episode.
Yeah.
And I loved your comment where you're like, yeah, that was cool. Here's some things I think you missed. Like, that's cool. And I knew it as I was making. I'm like, there's gonna be some folks that are like hardcore that are like, yeah, no, you need this, and you missed this, and so that's why I even asked that question.
I loved how you started off with the Domino Squad in the episode from season 2, where it starts from cadets to the Camino arc.
Yep.
But I feel like you really did miss the mark when it came to the Citadel arc, because it involved, well, spoiler alert, obviously. But it involved it involved Echo's death, which would explain how he became a part of the Bad Batch in season 7.
Fives. Yeah.
And then in, I think it was season 6, Fives had his own arc, which discovered the chips for Order 66. And it also goes into season 7 of the Clone Wars.
See, so we need to just like give the whole YouTube channel over to Guardian right now and say, I think it would be cool to have you come on a bit more if you're down with it. Maybe as we talk through some of the Star Wars stuff, especially Clone Wars, because I'll even admit, as much as I am a big Star Wars fan, as I was watching the Clone Wars originally, like I was on a mission, but my mission wasn't just like learn everything about Star Wars. My mission was, I need to find out what happened to Maul. Like that was my mission. It was like Operation Find Out About Darth Maul. And then there were so many other things that I was like, whoa. So I think what happened as I was watching it, I wasn't so much like really caring about the background of these
the overall story. Yeah.
I was like, yeah, okay, that's great. Let's get to this, But then as those guys were being, revealed, I was like, oh yeah, so maybe I need this. So I knew that there were going to be things that I missed. So let's talk about like the Bad Batch. So you saw the first couple episodes. What were your first reactions to it?
Well, my first reactions was I thought at first Omega was super annoying, but as the first episode got on, I actually started to like her, and it was super weird because I really loved the Clone Wars, and I was trying so hard to like the Bad Batch in like the first half hour because I wasn't enjoying it that much. But the more it went on, I kind of liked it.
Gotcha. So when you were seeing Omega, I got a question for you. I'm gonna ask a little bit of a personal question. You can refuse to answer it. Do you have a sibling?
Yes.
Did it remind you of like a younger brother or a younger sister?
No, because I'm the youngest in the family. I be the Omega in the family.
You're the annoying one.
Yeah.
You're the annoying one. You're the Omega.
That might be my reason why I hate her so much.
That's funny. But she does start to
draw on you,
I think. Yeah. And I think that was probably at the core of episode 2, I think, from an emotional standpoint, was they were getting us to enjoy a bit more of her. And what I liked that I was seeing there, it seemed like they were taking from a lot of what they had learned or
with Ahsoka.
With Ahsoka. So tell me more about your thoughts there. Go ahead.
Well, the thing about Omega is it really reminisces on what they learned about Ahsoka, because the whole thing with Ahsoka was they implemented her to be annoying, and then overall in some of the certain episodes they changed her personality a little bit by learning lessons, and that's how she ended up how she did in season 7.
Yeah. And then you see her in the fullest form, which I thought was a little off, and I don't want to go deep diving into that, in Mandalorian, where her personality didn't seem to match. Yeah,
it didn't match Rebels, because she did also appear in Rebels, and the two didn't really click.
Her appearance in Rebels was dope.
Yeah,
man. We can't go there now.
I understand. I haven't seen all the Rebels yet.
Oh no! Oh, bro!
I don't like Ezra. He's so annoying.
I hear you, but like they do a great job. Well, maybe we will go there a little bit. They do a great job of taking some of what was going on in Clone Wars and bringing it into Rebels. Now, the other thing I didn't watch was that other project that they released.
Resistance. I haven't seen any of that either.
Yeah, I started that. I was like, "This is what are you doing?"
It felt like it was too much directed to the younger ones.
Yeah, and it felt like they really just went off the whole beaten path and like anyway. But like in Rebels, bro, like they go somewhere with it. It started off for me like that, where it felt like another world. I don't really quite get it. But you also in Rebels, there's a character that we meet in Bad Batch, who we actually find out is a character years later.
Thrawn.
Well, maybe actually. So is he? That's the bad guy, right?
Yeah, he was mentioned in Mandalorian when Ahsoka was questioning the.
Yeah,
I can't remember her name. Yeah.
But actually, the Jedi, the Padawan who gets away.
Oh, Kanan Jarrus.
Yeah, exactly. So then he becomes Kanan Jarrus in Rebels, and what I've also like what they used in episode 2 of Bad Batch is the introduction of the chain code, which you see in Mandalorian. It's like this is where that began, and then emotionally, I was even seeing a similarity between Mando and Grogu with Hunter and Omega. Where it's kind of like I'm like this strong, quiet guy, hardcore, but I'm starting to develop a soft side to this little thing that has these potential powers. It seems like there's like almost a psychic ability, maybe a force sensitivity there, even though it's a clone, which was kind of weird for me. But still, it's like, and it's the idea of I don't think I'm best for you.
Yeah.
In the end, you're choosing me and all right, come on, let's do this thing,
Well, it really reminded me of Starkiller, because if you've played those games, Starkiller in the second game is a Force-sensitive clone. So they might be taking... Because the guy who voiced Darth Maul in Clone Wars also voiced Starkiller, so they might be taking like little objects from those games and implementing them into the Bad Batch. I'm not quite sure. It's just a little thing I have.
I don't know. That's a good thought, though. I don't even know which game are you talking about. Is the game called Starkiller?
No, it's called Force Unleashed 1 and 2.
Oh no! See, I was that whole season when those came out. I was not playing video games, and I had PlayStation 3 for the longest, and then it died. And just recently, I guess now a year ago, I got PlayStation 4, and one of the first games I jumped into was Battlefield. But or was it not Battlefield? Is that the Star Wars? What's the Battlefront? Battlefield is a game. Battlefront is the one that I got into, and then got into the second one of that when that came out, and there's another one too that I'm playing. I can't remember.
Oh, you need to play Republic Commando. It's recently been relaunched on PS4 and PS5.
What's it called?
Republic Commando. It goes into this small squad of clones called the Delta Squad, and the story in it is very good. It's very hard though.
And that just recently came out?
Well, it came out a few years ago, but they re-released it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was trying to just like start finding a bunch of Star Wars game content, and I got Star Wars Jedi Academy, and I was like, this is garbage. Hot trash. I was like, what is this? I have
played through it. Yeah, I have played through it, and at first I found it really confusing. I had to use YouTube so many times I couldn't even count it.
It just I think maybe it doesn't age well either, because I feel like when it came out, it was probably like, this
revolutionary.
Yeah. Now I'm like,
yeah, some of the controls in the older games
are Minecraft, but not quite Minecraft. It's not crappy enough to have the throwback vibes of the vintage.
Oh yeah. With most of the older games for me, they're so clunky with the controls, but the story, you just have to play them just for the story.
Yeah. Super dope. Well, hey man, are there any final things that you want to say about the Bad Batch or the Clone Wars, or anything that you're excited about going forward?
One thing I really love about the Bad Batch is that they implemented. If you know Cutler Quain from, I think it's season 1 or 2 in Clone Wars, they brought him back in the second episode of the Bad Batch, and I can't lie, that did pull a few heartstrings for me.
Yeah. And I know for me, and I could tell that they knew this, was that many of us were expecting a Rex appearance, right? And it was like, oh, they're going to see Rex. They're going to see Rex. And then it wasn't Rex. It was like, oh, but we know this guy. And then he drops the Rex conversation in there. And it's like, oh, okay, yeah, they're going to continue to kind of thread us along. And maybe, I mean, they might do a thing of like continuing to bring out new characters, because like now we were reintroduced to Cut in them, and then it's like, and now they're gone. You know, it's like they're going to be moving on, you know. So it actually is, now that I'm thinking about it, this is feeling a lot like Mandalorian-esque.
Yeah.
Of like how they're taking you along on this journey with you know, these kind of unlikely characters that are coming together, and they're introducing other characters as they go. I'm interested to see how that's gonna play out, because I loved Mandalorian, man.
Yeah.
And I wish I had this YouTube channel going during that, man.
Oh, I loved that Mandalorian era, and the end of the Clone Wars was amazing for me. Some of the best times in quarantine for me.
Yeah, man. Season 7.
That was amazing. I don't know how to put it.
That was. Yeah. I was so grateful, actually. At that point, I was so grateful that I had watched the first 6. Like, because if that had came out and I wasn't there, you know what I mean? I would have been like, I missed all of this.
Like, I can't lie, I didn't, because if you had Netflix back in the day, you could see like what they had in mind for season 7, because they had like the pre-rendered versions of the episodes, and you can go on YouTube now and still find them, and you can find the Bad Batch arc unfinished, and some things they cut out, and it's super interesting. I watched it before season 7 came out.
Wow. That's really interesting. Definitely. Well, brother Guardian, thank you so much for being on the channel here, man. It was awesome. And I don't know about the rest of the audience, but I'd love to have you back here sometime soon to talk more Clone Wars. So any final words for everybody?
Thank you for watching, I guess.
All right, man. Take care.
Okay, thank you.
If you guys enjoyed that conversation with my new friend Guardian, if you too want to be on the show and be in a conversation like we just did, go ahead and hit the link in the description, sign up to be a part of Freedom Nation, and we'll get you on one of our upcoming shows dealing with, you know, Bad Batch or with Loki that's going to be coming up. I can't wait to be chatting about it with you guys, the friends of the show. So I'd love for you to take advantage of that, and make sure that you subscribe to the channel already, but only if you're actually enjoying it. I don't need your subscription, but I don't want you to miss this great content if you're actually having a good time. Make sure you like the page, and I'll see you back here next time on Free to Play Entertainment, where we help you live with conviction, play with passion, and faithfully have fun. Peace.